AITA for telling my dad it isn't the thought that counts. I'm fully prepared to be called the asshole. My dad has this habit of offering to get you something and then bringing back something else, or a different version of the same thing. He won't call and ask you what else you want if the item isn't there, he will just assume you will be fine with whatever he gets. A few weeks ago we went out shopping for groceries as my mum was away. She had put her favorite dip on the shopping list and wrote down exactly what brand it was. Dad couldn't seem to find the dip and so decided to grab a random green dip and hope for the best. When I pointed out that the dip Mum wanted was on the shelf above, he grabbed it and seemed shocked that he didn't see it. Things like this are a regular occurrence and we kinda expect to get something different whenever he offers to get us something. He never reads the containers or bottles and just grabs stuff at random most of the time. Last night Dad called me and asked me if I wanted anything from the liquor store as he was grabbing some wine. I said, "Can you please get me, brand, in raspberry please?" He brings home the pineapple flavor and only realizes it's wrong when I point it out. Oh, and he also got annoyed when I didn't want to drink it as I dislike pineapple. He tells me it's the thought that counts even if he fucked up. That's when I told him that it isn't the thought that counts when you repeatedly get the wrong thing. This started a mini argument where I had to explain to him that he needs to actually take the time and make sure he gets the right thing and call us if he can't get it. I seem to have hurt his feelings and he told me I was being ungrateful and rude. Y'all, my dad offers to buy me things. I've mentioned in the post but people seem to be skipping that part. Crying face. AITA for telling my husband I don't want his daughter going on vacation with us. My husband has a 16-year-old daughter, Amy, with his ex. She's a huge Disney kid, which I get, I was too. We have 2 kids together, Ryan and Ella, 9-yo and 2-yo. Amy goes to Disney usually 5 times a year. Twice with her mom, twice with my husband, and her maternal grandparents take her every Christmas break. The younger kids and I have never gone with my husband and Amy as it's a tradition they've had since she was a baby. We, my husband, me and our 2 kids together, have a trip planned for early August to go to a different theme park for a few days. It was agreed that this would be a just the 4 of us trip as it will be our kids' first theme park trip. Initially, my husband said he wasn't inviting Amy as she will have just gotten back from Disney with her mom a few days before. My husband takes her every year over Thanksgiving and spring break. Whenever we've included Amy in any of our trips, she complains nonstop, "It's boring, stupid, useless, she hates it. Disney is better, it's a waste of time," and she has a really pissy mood the whole time. I'm not looking forward to that. I think the 2 younger kids deserve a fun time without Amy basically throwing a tantrum. Last time, we went to a water park, Amy got pissy because she wanted Disney again, so she turned off her phone and ran off. We all spent the next several hours looking for her and by the time we found her it was time to go and nobody was able to enjoy the day. I told my husband I do not want her to go with us and my reasons why. He says I'm being unfair and Amy is still one of the kids and if we're taking out 2 then it's only fair to include Amy. I told him if he insists on Amy going, I'll make other accommodations for myself, Ryan and Ella. He told me I'm being an asshole and try to see how that would make Amy feel. AITA? Edit, Amy has said she does not care at all about our trip. We're going to Legoland, not Disney. My husband wants Amy to go with us since he's worried she'll end up regretting it later if she skips it. AITA for refusing to go to therapy with my stepsister? My stepsister and I, both 15F, used to be close. We became stepsisters at 6 and even though I never called her just my sister, I always thought of her as one of my best friends and a part of my family. The only source of conflict we ever had was my dad's family. They never took my stepsister on as their family and when I'd go to visit them she'd get upset about it. She always felt that wasn't fair. My dad died and his family stayed in my life and loved me and made sure I had more people to love me. But her mom left her and so did her mom's family. I know it made her jealous and I know we fought about it before. She'd beg me to let her come along but I always felt a little uncomfortable with that so I never asked. 2 months ago my stepsister wanted us to go to this convention an hour from where we live. She never said anything and bought the tickets online without asking her dad or me. That same weekend I had plans to visit my great-grandma for her birthday and was spending the night with her and my grandparents. When she did mention the convention, it was like 3 days before, and I refused to cancel seeing my family to go with her. She told me she really wanted us to go and I could see my family anytime. I told her my great-grandma is older and I might not get to see her anytime because she's in and out of the hospital a lot. That weekend while I was gone, my stepsister found the DVD my dad made for me before he died, which was his last goodbye to me. It was my comfort item. I had it in my room in my desk because I wanted it to be safe. My stepsister broke the disc and tossed it in the trash in the mall before I got back. I went to watch it that night and it was gone. I told my mom and I was pretty hysterical, and that's when she and my stepdad figured out what happened, and I realized after. I told my stepsister I hated her, I would never let her be my family again, and we would never be friends again. She started crying and apologizing, and I told her it didn't matter because she's dead to me. My mom took me for ice cream to try and calm me down and cheer me up, and my stepsister was grounded when I got back. Things have not blown over. I refuse to forgive her. I ignore her and make sure she's not allowed to touch me. I leave the room if she comes in. I ignored her at school too. She was getting more and more upset. My mom and stepdad asked me to work on forgiving her and I said never. They now want us to go to therapy together and I said no. I told them I won't go willingly, and even if they make me, I won't take part in therapy. I said they can waste money if they want, but I am not going to let her fix this. I told them I wished she was never in my life, that I really hate her and I hope she ends up miserable and never getting over the guilt of what she did, because I'll never forget. My mom and stepdad got mad at me over refusing and said I needed to learn to forgive. AITA,